Welcome back, Sun Seekers, to another episode of the Sun Podcast. I'm Meredith here with my amazing co-host, Cassie.
Hello, Sun Seeker, and hey, Mare. We are so excited for today's episode once again, just like we say every single week. Is that annoying? I don't know. Let us know. Okay, anyways.
We are excited.
Yeah, we are.
It's something new. It's every week is new.
Yeah. I truly am excited to record every single day.
Today I'm so not excited about today's episode. It's going to really suck.
Yeah, that wouldn't hit.
It might suck.
I don't know, but yeah, that wouldn't hit for me if I was listening to a podcast. But anyways, right? Okay. So excited for today's podcast, as usual, because it's all about finding your movement love language.
Ooh, this is kind of fun.
Yeah. The kind of movement that lights you up, that feels natural, and keeps you coming back for more without the obligation, and you find joy out of it.
Because movement should feel freeing, not forced. But here's the thing. What works for one person might not work for someone else. So that's why today we're diving into how to discover what movement truly feels good for you. So whether you love slow mornings or whether you love slow, mindful flows or high energy training or playing playful movement, like dancing in the kitchen, because you all know that we love dancing in the kitchen. We want you to find what speaks to you.
And this is so important because movement isn't just about physical fitness. It's about expression, energy, and connecting with yourself on a deeper level. So if you've ever struggled to stay consistent or felt like traditional workouts just weren't for you, this episode is going to be really helpful because it's going to help you unlock what actually works for your body, your mind, and your soul.
And I think it's so exciting to explore this idea because I'm not doing the same thing that I was doing 5 years ago. I think it's important to explore this idea.
Definitely. Same.
So let's find the idea of movement love language. And we all know about the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, acts of kindness, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, and gifts. But what if we applied that same idea to how we move?
I love that. That's such a good idea. Right? I like it.
It's fun.
Yeah, because movement isn't just about checking a workout off the list. And I know you have your list, type A people. It's about connecting with our bodies in a way that feels natural and fulfilling. Your movement love language is the type of movement that makes you feel most alive. The kind that you actually look forward to.
I really love that. I love movement so much. So let's see if we can figure this out. So if someone's wondering, how do I know my movement love language? What should they pay attention to?
Well, I'd say start with what sparks joy. I know I'm kind of going back to Marie Kondo. I know I talked about her a little bit, but do what sparks joy. What type of movement makes you feel good in your body? What leaves you feeling refreshed instead of drained? And do you crave flow and mindfulness? Ask yourself these questions. Maybe yoga or Pilates is your thing. I know I have a lot of mom friends that prefer Pilates. I'm more of a strength girl, but that's okay too. Ask yourself these questions, and then you can kind of start discovering and playing a little bit with whatever feels best for you. Do you feel energized by high intensity movement? Maybe it's weightlifting or again, just or dancing or something like that. So
bar.
Yeah. Do you find joy in play and spontaneity, like hiking or surfing? Maybe that could be the perfect fit for you.
Yes. And beyond just the type of movement, how you move matters too. So some people love structure and routines, while others love freedom and variety. So are you someone who enjoys a planned workout program, or do you prefer to just go with the flow and move however feels right in the moment? Okay. Cassie, how would you describe your movement love language?
I love this question.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Okay, hands down, strength training is my love language. It's structured and I love seeing progress. It gives me a tangible sense of growth, which I love as like more of a type A person. And it makes me feel strong, which is a value that I strongly resonate with. And I love the ritual of it. But I also have a playful side too. I love spontaneous dance breaks in my kitchen or going for a hike with my kids. So, and my husband. So for me, it's a mix of intentional strength and spontaneous joy. So what about for you, Meredith?
I love that. You know, for me, movement is all about freedom and flow. Walking has become my sanctuary. It's when I think, when I process, when I connect with myself. And yoga, I really enjoy that. It's where I find stillness and motion, but also love that exploration. So trying anything, like something new, is like what really gets me going. So I'll go running or hiking, or even I picked up surfing when I was in Hawaii, and my movement love language is just so fluid and expressive. It's what keeps me. Yeah. I'm like super ADHD, I think. So you're like very creative. And so I just like to try new things. And if I'm trying something new, I even tried a pure barre class the other day, and that was so much fun. It was challenging in a whole new way.
I love that. And I think that's the beauty of it. Our movement styles are totally different, yet both are completely valid. And I think like for the sun seeker out there, your movement is completely valid as well. If you don't like to strength train, it's not your thing. Like that's totally fine too. Like do what feels good for you. Your love language is unique to you.
So if someone's listening and thinking, I have no idea what my movement love language is, where do I even start?
Well, first,
if you're listening to us though, you probably have found some type of movements at some point in your life. So I feel like that's like also potentially a good place.
Definitely. So like keep doing what lights you up. But if you feel like you need something more, I think we can help. So where do you start? First, experiment, try different types of movement and pay attention to how you feel afterward. Do you feel energized or drained? And also like, I think it's important to give things some time. So you're not always going to like perfect something right away. I'm sure with surfing, that took you a while.
My gosh.
And you had kook out a little. You need to tell them about kook.
Okay, so if you are like a first-time surfer, you are a kook. There's no way around it. Like you start off surfing as a kook. Like it's just inevitable. And a kook just means that you don't really know what you're doing, and you're probably accidentally gonna like fling your board into someone else, and that's really embarrassing. So
I think that's just like an important life lesson. Like you always have to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then like work your way up. You can't just like cheat your way there.
You can't. And and surfing is definitely one of those sports that it humbles you.
Yeah.
And it says, it's okay. You're starting here and you got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And you also have to like, your stamina is everything. Like you don't realize like how much you're using your lats, and
oh my gosh, I bet.
And then your core, because you have to push up onto the board. So like you're constantly using your core. Your balance has to be intact. Like, so we would go surfing 4 times a week. And I remember one of my best friends in Hawaii, she first moved to the island and she like wanted to get really good at surfing. And she did. Like she's a longboarder, and she's such a beautiful longboarder now.
I think you've showed me some videos of her. She looks super cool.
She's so cool. I love you, Autumn. I love you so much. And I mean, I would still consider myself like I was surfing 4 times a week for almost a whole year. And I would still say like, I wasn't graceful yet. Yeah.
Like, but the other people that were in Hawaii were probably surfing for like a lot of their lives.
Oh yeah. For their whole life.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time. Like I would say that I would get up, I could catch the wave, and like I could move just a little bit on it, but I wasn't like dancing on it like When you're like you become one with the wave. It's such a beautiful thing.
I gotta go see.
I aspire to that.
Yes. I gotta go see like a surf competition or something here in Cocoa Beach sometime. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Surfing here is just...
It's probably not the same, but
I can't.
anyways.
I mean, some people can do it.
We got on a little bit of a tangent.
I like tangents.
Yeah. So back to what I was talking about. Like, do you ask yourself, like, do you feel energized? Do you feel drained? Or do you feel relaxed or restless maybe? If something feels like a chore, it's probably not your exercise love language.
I'd also say that, and reflect like on past experience, like what movement did you love as a kid? Did you love dancing? Did you love climbing? Were you playing sports like competitively? And we look at all these kids right now, like our routine is so ingrained with our children's sports.
It is.
So we probably did love something like that. So maybe you could get involved in like a rec league. But our childhood joys give us the biggest clues into what might make us feel joy and movement.
Yes, exactly. And don't forget to listen to your body. Like I said, what movement feels natural? Also, like, what do you feel like you're good at? What makes you feel good both physically and emotionally? For me, I love that you said, like, bring back what you loved as a kid, because as a kid, I absolutely loved volleyball and swimming. Swimming was another thing that I loved. And when Meredith and I first started this, something that you told me that really resonated, or like spoke to me, I guess, not resonated, but spoke to me, is like, don't wear your makeup to the beach, because you can't like go and play in the ocean and like go swimming, or like even at the pool, you can't go play at the pool. And I really love that. Like, it's not about looking good. It's more about having fun with your kids when you go there and like having fun yourself.
Stood out to me because so often, like, we are, as moms, I observe this all the time, but we sit on the sidelines while our kids play. We watch them, like, and this happens all the time on the beach. And I realized that there's nothing more important than leaving the beach with wet hair. Like, we're so afraid to get our hair wet for some reason. It blows my mind, but Cassie and I went last summer with the kids, and I was teaching her like how to like dive under the wave and like just have a blast. And there's so much movement that's happening in that action that, like, when you're playing in the waves,
and not only that, but like, you're creating memories with your kids that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah. So this summer, get your hair wet.
Yes.
Just get your hair wet. Because there's something so freeing that when you dive underneath the wave for the first time and you come back up out of the water, it feels like the first breath that you've taken in a long time.
It's freeing, for sure.
So get sandy, get wet, have fun.
Ooh.
I love it. Yeah, I can't wait for summer. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for spring.
It's on the horizon.
I feel it. The skies are blue. So, but once someone has an idea of what movement speaks to them, how do you like actually make it a part of your life consistently?
Okay. 2 things: habit stacking and removing the pressure. If you can pair movement with something you already do, like stretching while maybe you have a favorite TV show. I know I just got done with one. I am so excited to tell you about it, but I won't right now because I'll get on a tangent. Walking while you're listening to your favorite podcast, or maybe dancing while making dinner. Or like Meredith said, I'm sure you guys have a lot of activities with your kids. I see moms all the time walking around the fields while their kids are at practice. I mean, I think that's a great way to also get movement in, and just taking the pressure off when movement feels like it's too much. And movement becomes something you get to do, not something that you have to do. And I know we talked about this on the last podcast, but I just really want to ingrain it in your minds. Like, there are so many people, and I think about it a lot now. I think it's just like, after we've talked about gratitude a lot, Meredith, just thinking about those people that don't get the opportunity to get up out of bed, and I get that opportunity. And so I do reflect on that a lot, and I find gratitude in that.
I have to share something else. So when we first moved here, my son was drafted to play on the SV Suntree Valley. The head coach, he was a paraplegic. Okay, so he lost all of his limbs.
Oh my God.
Yes, and he was in his late 30s.
Who is this?
My son's coach, his football coach.
Wait, recently?
This is when we first moved. Sorry. Okay. So when we first moved to Florida, and I'm bringing this up because I talked to his dad last night, and I'm going to bring this full circle. But when we first moved here to Florida, we signed our boys up for flag football. And he was drafted to be on a coach who had lost all of his limbs in like a very tragic so the paraplegic something happened in the hospital.
Man, he's a coach.
Yeah,
now.
He's a coach, but he's over all of the SVYFL. So like he's so like competitive.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's really amazing and inspiring. So we got to know him that season, and now we've gotten to know him through each of the seasons that we've been playing. But I ended up seeing his dad last night. We were talking and reconnecting, and he was sharing with me that he had previously, like when he was in high school, he was on the track team, super competitive, like won the state, like he was just really, really good. And then I was like, man, you just don't lose that competition, that side of you. And I was like, has he ever thought about like competing in the Special Olympics? And he told me that yes, he's training to swim in the 2028 Olympics.
Oh my God.
I know.
Wow.
So it's like something that you just don't lose. And when you have that motivation, like there's nothing that can hold you back. Like you are in control of your own will.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And he didn't let his circumstances change his opportunities.
He's
and
out there
that takes
every
an
single night.
immense strength. And wow, that's really, really cool.
Right? I know. I'm like super proud of him. So I don't know if anyone's listening or from the area, who I'm talking about, like I'm just really excited and happy that he's such an inspiration in our community.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You'll have to tell me like how that goes and everything. And I hope they have it like in the paper or something. That would be really cool.
They probably will.
Yeah.
They would have to.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
But anyway, I think another big piece of finding joy in movement, if you're dreading your workouts, it's time to switch it up. I think play around with something different, with different environments, or try working outside, switch up the music, or invite friends to move with you. Sometimes this accountability will make a big difference.
Oh my gosh. I'll always text, like, I have a couple friends in my neighborhood and I'll be like, hey, come over and work out with me. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at least when we do, it's just like, it's so fun to work out with a friend, I think.
It made me so happy. Like that's really how we started, like a lot of our movement happened together.
Yeah.
And then we just started working out together and doing walking Wednesdays. And it's just those motivating ways to find movement. And especially like if you're in the warm weather right now, or in warmer weather, and you're starting to see more of the sunshine, it really inspires you and makes you motivated to get up and start moving. So
because our friends, they light us up. So Sunseeker, we want to challenge you this week to explore your movement love language. Try new types of movement, tune into what feels good inside your body, and find joy in how you move.
And we love to hear from you. So share your movement love language with us on Instagram at The Sun Podcast, or we are going to share a little quiz to help you identify what your movement love language is. So whether it's strength, dance, walking, yoga, or something that's uniquely you, just let us know. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us here today. And remember, movement should be something that feels good to you in your body, in your mind, and in your heart.
Until next time, keep finding your sun.